you go to work, you're always on guard. You never know which situation is going to cause you to get hurt or killed. So like even when you approach a traffic car, you become very alert. And for 8 hours, you live this, and then you go home and you sit in your chair and you come down off of it. But you're not there long enough before, and a lot of guys work a lot of overtime, work a lot of details, and they're back in the mix. And it's what they've termed hypervigilance. And it kind of wears on you, it wears you down. You just see so much every day, so many temptations, and people get the thought that, well, nobody's going to miss this. You know, nobody's going to care about this. And it's just small little things that they do, like maybe picking something up in a burglary call. There's a watch laying there. Who's going to know that the burglar didn't take this watch? There's a lot of different mistakes or temptations police officers are faced with. And it actually takes its toll on officers as the years go on. And we talk about supervisors, and supervisors will say what matters most to them is their officers. This is what they say. And I don't doubt it. They really believe it. However, we have to wonder why for every officer that gets killed feloniously in the line of duty, there will be 2 that commit suicide, and there will be 10 that will get fired. So if we really want to protect our officers, it's not just protect them from the safety or from the dangers of the street, but we need to protect our officers from all of the stress and stressors they encounter in the course of their duties. Because if they start making bad mistakes, they're going to continue to make bad mistakes. And we've got to bring them back to a place where they understand the proper way of doing things and for the right reasons. That's what the importance of ethics training is. That's what the importance of communication skills and cultural diversity training are, to remind us that we're just responsible citizens with a job working in the community, instead of just being on our own and thinking we're alone. I think the building block of what helped me change things in the Pittsburgh Police was what they referred to as the early intervention system. We called PARS, Performance Assessment and Review System. We tracked officer performance. We got to see every traffic stop they made, every arrest they made, every use of force they made, every citizen's complaint they made, every vehicle collision they made. And we had alerts that came to us, the supervisors, to notify when your officers were struggling. And quarterly, they had to sit down and look at the data overall to see, okay, which officers are leading in citizens' complaints and lawsuits and use of force and sick time use, vehicle collisions, and you start to add it up. Is this meaningful? Well, if you think about what they say in policing, up to 25% of police officers, some studies have shown up to 25% of police officers have substance abuse problems, primarily alcohol, and that's a method that many police officers use to deal with the stress they encounter on the job. But sometimes using a crutch like that can create more problems. And you can identify them when you start looking at the data that's provided by police officers. If you see an officer who does have a vehicle collision, who is using a lot of sick time, more than the peer group, and having citizens' complaints and lawsuits, and you can sit down with this officer and say, what's going on? And try to intervene. Try to intervene early enough that you actually help the officer from going down that path where he's going to lose his job, and sometimes even lose their life, because they will commit suicide more often than they'll get killed in the line of duty.